What up? What up? What up? What up? You already know what it is. You have just entered the war zone. Yes, yes. We are here, live and direct. Live and direct. I want to dive in on this whole Tupac scandal. Okay. I want to react to it's an important person, right? This guy named Michael Carlin. Michael Carlin did Battle for Compton. Michael Carlin has been going at it for a good while with Greg Caden. Greg Caden was assigned to man the Tupac case after Tupac was long said gone, after Tupac was gone. And you let me know what you think. We want to get into this video real quick. It is a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on. Reggie Wright Jr. Then you got Sharita. Sharita was the wife or or baby's mother to Suge Knight. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot going on, but let's catch up on this video.
Cover up. There we got a lot to cover up.
So guys,
What's going on?
Greg Kading is out. His lawyer won't let him do it. So
we've been waiting around for Kading all day, and
yeah, and now
he's not
he's a
coming.
no-show.
Really, I wanted to talk to him because there's so much to ask him.
Yeah.
But them theorists, they come up with all kind of make-believe
message. Then they come and talk to Buntry. He denies it and all of that. And they call me. Say, Lil Reg, we we don't believe you had anything to do with this anymore. So who's number one suspect when you hear police in Compton, handcuffed? Reggie Jr.
Throwing your hints. I'm dry snitching like a motherfucker.
About 9:30, I get a call from the captain of the sheriff's station, Cecil Rambo, who I knew personally, because he heard from the sergeant at the scene that the truck of the victim that had got shot at this gas station was registered to Reggie Wright. It did say of death row, although it was a death row vehicle in Reggie Jr.'s name. Was the driver was shot at the scene and somebody ran. And I said, Cecil, how the heck I get here if I had anything? That ain't me.
Throwing your hints. I'm dry snitching like a motherfucker.
Everybody started getting killed. That was in a whole entourage.
I know.
Everyone.
I hear you.
Okay. Everyone started
Mac,
getting killed.
not Mac, but Gaines, but then Mac went to jail, and then Perez went to jail. And those are the three closest confidants of Knight, is what some people say.
So right now, who you are listening to right now, right now, who you're listening to is Frank Alexander. That's Tupac, former bodyguard. And he was also the employee to Right Way Security, who worked directly under Reggie Wright Jr. Okay. This is a complicated, entangled web here. Okay. So you really would have to slow your mind down and keep it open so you can really understand what happened. Okay. Okay. Many people were extremely upset with Suge Knight and Tupac. They were jealous of Tupac. Death Row was jealous of Tupac. Death Row was jealous of Suge Knight. Period. Let's go. Shout out to Michael Carlin. This is a Michael Carlin video right here that I am reacting to. Michael Carlin is wrapped up in the aftermath of the investigation, and he has a book called or a DVD out, or you can live stream it, called Battle of Compton, Battle for Compton. You don't want to mess with Greg Kading. It's amazing because in this particular clip, I did not know Reggie Wright Jr., Reggie Wright Sr. I did not know that this guy, Reggie Wright, had all of those LAPD cops in Las Vegas the night of Tupac's demise.
The closest confidant of Suge was Buntry. Heron got killed first over in Fairfax and Washington, got shot 17 times broad daylight. Buntry got killed broad daylight in Compton at 2 o'clock. Okay, guys on a bicycle did a bicycle drive by and killed him. Reggie Wright Sr. was the target. They thought it was Reggie Wright Jr. The car that they were in, the SUV, was registered to Reggie Wright Jr.
Okay, everybody. Today, I want to talk about Suge Knight. And, there's a lot of truth that's coming out in his current podcast. And it's really refreshing to hear Suge actually speaking about what happened. And the one thing that he talked about was the Snoop murder trial. That was early on in his podcast. And he talked about the difference between a 38 and a Glock 40 and how you could use 38 bullets in a 40. But you couldn't do it the other way around. But fortunately, the gun that was in Snoop's hand was able to be said about that. And eventually, the gun that was in Snoop's hand just disappeared altogether. Those guns never showed up. The police never got a chance to look at the actual murder weapons because they simply just went missing and nobody really questioned it. It didn't become a thing in the trial. And that kind of confirms what Suge said about the DAs. The DAs weren't really, voracious in their prosecution of Snoop. So there was probably a payoff, which means we have corrupt DAs. And that's not a good thing for the DA's office. It was a huge smoking gun for them. And, so was the other corruption that was uncovered inside the DA's office. But I want to talk about Suge Knight because at the end of Russell's life, he wanted to apologize to Suge Knight. And he actually got a chance to apologize through Suge Knight's attorneys. But he wanted to apologize in person.
Now, Suge Knight. Now, Suge Knight was the first one to be accused by Russell Poole, the head detective on the Tupac case at the time, was the first to be accused of orchestrating the demise of Tupac Shakur. Now, many found this to be very hard to believe that Suge Knight can orchestrate a hit with him actually in the vehicle. Many found that very, very hard to believe. But the thing was, Russell Poole found out that Death Row was in fact a part of the Tupac plot. However, he found out that Suge Knight didn't have anything to do with it. He found out that Suge Knight was a part of the hit, but Suge Knight was the mark. Suge Knight was the intended target. Suge Knight was
And what did he want to apologize for? He wanted to apologize for having been so vocal and having blamed Suge Knight for the murder of Tupac Shakur. Suge Knight was not involved in the murder of Tupac Shakur, and Russell came to understand that later. Now, how do we know who's the first person to really say publicly that Suge Knight was involved in Tupac's murder? And that's Snoop in 1990.
Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, great. Okay, we're gonna just do it like this right now until I can get my microphone correct. But let's move forward. Let's move forward. Okay, let's move forward. This is heavy, heavy information. When Michael Carlin just mentioned that Suge Knight, but it was like a breath of fresh air hearing Suge Knight, and I'm paraphrasing. I couldn't have agreed more. Who would have thought that Suge Knight would burst through the firmament and be able to capture platforms to where these large platforms will be pushing out Suge Knight's message? Who would have thought this, y'all? But it's happening. It's happening. Suge Knight could have been snitched. He did not snitch the whole time, y'all. He could have been told, he could have told us that Suge Knight, that Snoop Dogg, Reggie Wright Jr., possibly Reggie Wright Sr., Sharitha Knight, Suge Knight's ex-wife, all conspired to take out Suge Knight and Tupac. Are you kidding me? Think about this. Think about this, y'all, real quick. Think about this. And do me a favor, hit that like button, smack that wherever you at, wherever social platform you at, I'd appreciate it. Now check this out. All these rappers that has been taken out, right? Every rapper damn that have been taken out. Think about it, y'all. We're not done. Tupac, when Tupac was taken out, we didn't have the internet, right? But think about all of the murders after Tupac. Think about that. All of these murders after Tupac had more than one person conspiring to take out the rapper. You hear all of these people, oh no, you're putting out conspiracy theories. Those are conspiracy theories. Bruh, every rapper after Tupac has been hit by a conspiracy and mob of other individuals. It's not like a rapper had a beef with one other rapper and then that other one rapper came back to get his get back on the rapper. No, it don't be like that. It's like 4 to 5 to 6 people involved in a conspiracy to take out one rapper. We have been seeing this. It's not easy for one person to take out a rapper with clout. That's not easy. For you not to get caught, that's not easy. That is not, brothers and sisters, think about it. How in the freaking world Tupac got shot in Vegas? There's a camera on every corner. How did you not see who shot Tupac? How? You solve cases that there's damn near no evidence involved in these poor black people cases. You solve cases that there's damn near no evidence, and you really do the job. How is it that the number one damn music star in the world gets hit in Vegas, not in a lonely street in Troy, New York? He gets hit in Vegas. And nobody knows nothing. There has been no arrest. Can you believe that? No arrest though? None? I wonder why. I wonder why. The entire damn near Rampart division of the LAPD was in Las Vegas the night of Tupac's hit. And I'm going to show you the video proof of it right now. Again, shout out to Michael Carlin. Shout out to Michael Carlin. I've spoke to Michael Carlin a few times throughout the years. I've even spoken to him this year, and I know I'm gonna speak to him again because it's now heating up. We were battling when you couldn't even really talk about this stuff. You couldn't talk about this stuff on the internet. They were shadow banning you. You know, it was craziness. Then you got people like Reggie Wright getting on social media. Man, if you don't get your why is this fat boy cop over here attempting to segue into the hood and talk on social hood issues as if he's about that life like that, as if he's one of us? Nigga, you not like us, like Drake said, Reggie White. Nigga, you's a cop, a whole cop. Come on, man. Somebody tag Michael Carlin in this video. I didn't get it. Maybe I could do. I didn't get a chance to do it, but somebody tag Michael Carlin in this video. I know I'll do it when I get off of here, but somebody tag Michael Carlin. Michael Carlin, tag him.
98 at Universal Amphitheater, he tells the police that Suge Knight is involved in Tupac's murder. He tells the sheriffs, actually. And the sheriffs give that report to Russell Poole. And that was the basis for him starting to believe that and for him, constructing information about it. And all of the information pointed to Death Row Records as having been behind Tupac's.
So Russell Poole gets information from the investigators that Suge Knight is the culprit. Suge Knight caused the hit on Tupac. This is what the rest of the LAPD investigators are telling Russell Poole, because Russell Poole is the head investigator for the Tupac murder at that time. Okay? So so they are telling, so picture this. Reggie Wright and a few of his other boys are telling Russell Poole, here's the reports. Here you go. It's Suge Knight. Suge Knight did it. Just telling him, bam, out of nowhere, right? With no real sign, with no proof. He takes it and believes it. He goes and investigates it. He investigates Suge Knight. He even gets in touch with Suge Knight. Suge Knight knows he's under investigation. He harasses Suge Knight, following him and doing it and just getting into Suge Knight business. Come to find out, he found out that Suge Knight was not complicit in the Tupac hit. He come to find out that Suge Knight was the intended target along with Tupac. Did you hear me? Russell Poole, the first head investigator for the Tupac case found out after being fed information from his investigators that it was Suge Knight that hit Pac, Russell Poole found out that Suge Knight had nothing to do with it. Although he found out that Death Row did have something to do with it. So what did Russell Poole do? He called Suge Knight, got in touch with Suge Knight through a third party, and damn near cried and apologized to Suge Knight. Not only that, he went publicly and apologized to Suge Knight. Okay? This must have scared the living daylights out of Reggie Wright Jr. and possibly Reggie Wright Sr. Why do I say that? Well, why do you say that, Minister Warzone? Because Russell Poole was called into the offices of the LAPD Rampart Division, called in abruptly, and mysteriously never walked out of there. He was carried out. He had an unexpected heart attack in the police station, y'all. In the police station, he had an unexpected heart attack. This is Russell Poole. Ever since then, here comes a Greg Caden years later. Here comes a Greg Caden. I did not know Greg Caden was at the damn Tupac or at the Mike Tyson fight. When Tupac and Suge was at the Mike Tyson fight. I did not know Greg Caden was there. And we have the video proof right here. I just found this out. As far as Greg Caden is concerned, I was wondering, why was Greg Caden even going hard? Niggas, y'all niggas is cops. Why are y'all getting on here talking about our FBA, Tupac Shakur, Hood Life music? Why are y'all talking about our people? I didn't understand that. It was actually infuriating me. Why are these cops getting on these YouTube channels, spew and talking not about nothing else, y'all, not about entertainment or any? They're talking solely about Tupac. You got to admit something's up with that, man.
Murder. It was Death Row Records. And in Russell's mind, he couldn't separate Death Row Records from Suge Knight because Suge Knight was the shareholder that owned Death Row Records. And he came to understand that there was a group inside of Death Row Records that was planning a coup d'etat. They were planning to topple Suge's leadership and ownership of Death Row Records, and they were there to take the record label from Suge Knight. And that's what was happening at the time Tupac and Suge were targeted.
I mean, from Suge Knight. They were there to take the record label from Suge Knight. Reggie Wright allegedly was sneaking around with Sharitha Knight, Suge Knight's baby mama. Sharitha actually attempted to run off with $500 million of Death Row's funds. This is Sharitha Knight. Man.
They said, hey, we can just take this. And they tried to take the record label from Suge. And eventually, look, they did get the record label from Suge. Because if they can't kill you and take the money from you, they can take you from the money. They can put you in prison. And those were Suge's words. So what did we find out that cleared Suge Knight in this murder? Well, the obvious thing is, who would put themselves in the car at a time when the car is going to be shot up? I mean, that alone clears Suge Knight.
Smack that like button.
And
Smack that
there
like
were
button.
people at the time saying that Suge Knight was brazen enough to actually do that. Well, we saw how ridiculous Randall Sullivan looked in the Who Killed Tupac thing, and they tried with an expert to shoot up the car and hit Tupac and not hit Suge, and even an expert marksman could not do it. So the odds of him surviving with just a bullet fragment to the head, or a bullet to the head, because that's what he says happened. And of course, there's other people that speculate that it's glass or whatever. What a ridiculous thing. I mean, it's just stupid to even speculate about stuff like that. You know, glass is not going to, you know, it's just ridiculous to even say that. But anyway, back to this. Who is going to put themselves in that high risk of a situation if you're trying to kill the guy that's riding next to you? And more likely, the Orlando Anderson thing was staged to control Tupac's freedom, to make sure he wasn't going to leave the record label. And, you know, that whole thing was ridiculous too, but it was controlled. Why? Because you have a bunch of corrupt cops that are supervising that whole operation, and they're collecting the videotape in.
Think about it. Orlando Anderson, he damn near got murdered a month after Tupac was killed. There were no arrests. You know what I'm saying? They did not lock that boy up. That should tell you something right there. Orlando Anderson vehemently said, I had nothing to do with the killing of Tupac Shakur. This were corrupt cops pushing that narrative. After Orlando Anderson was murdered, that's when you heard Orlando Anderson name come out about him killing Tupac. And you didn't hear that none from nobody else, none other than Keefe D. You didn't hear that from the cops before anybody. You heard that from Keefe D. So Keefe D, I mean, if it's like that, and it's pretty obvious, Keefe D be slipping and sliding. It's pretty obvious. Look, the way he's dealing with Diddy. Why is it that they found evidence, or Keefe D, with Reggie Wright's name in Keefe D's payola book? Reggie Wright, why was your name in Keefe D's payola book? Reggie Wright, why were you damn near the first one to damn volunteer to go to the what do you call it? It's the grand jury. You went to the grand jury and testified on Keefe D. I remember listening to your live stream when you were saying, I didn't expect you to say that. You was talking about Keefe D, and then you said, you know what, y'all, I have a surprise for y'all today, and what I'm going to do. And he said, I think, this is what he said, I think I'm going to go and testify in the grand jury on Keefe D. So I'm saying that to myself. When I said to myself when he said that, why would that's like not cute. Like he's saying it like it's cute. That's why I'm like, these guys are not like us, man. Why are they even on YouTube? Right. So then he's like, so then he said, no, you know what? I am going to testify. He said, you know what? Yeah, I am, y'all. I am going to testify. I'm like, wow. So I was from there, I was trying to understand, like, why, so what's the motive? Why is he attempting to testify on Keefe D? I was trying to figure it out. But now it all makes sense. They all conspired, okay, to take out Suge Knight and Tupac. They wanted to take over the whole kit and caboodle, y'all. But shit got messed up. Shit went south. The plan did not go as planned. Snoop, you even said out your own mouth, Snoop, that you heard that they were coming for y'all in Vegas. That's what you told. I want to say it was Daz, but it's going to come up. I have the video on it. Let's play this video, man.
The Orlando Anderson beating. And what Suge doesn't know is that this is going to be used to revoke his probation if he survives and send him off to prison, and that tape is going to get entered into evidence by David Kenner. Now, how does your attorney in the case enter a piece of evidence against you?
Your attorney, y'all. Remember, David Kenner was part owner of Death Row Records also. And he was the attorney of Suge Knight, and he was the attorney of Tupac. And Tupac fired David Kenner approximately 2 weeks before the hit. And he fired Reggie Wright approximately 2 weeks before the hit, y'all. Come on, y'all. Ride with me. Pay attention. Come on. Keep attentive. We are in the war zone. Let's go.
As official record of the court case. But that's what ends up happening. And Suge loses his probation hearings and goes off to prison. And the crazy thing is that he lost his probation hearings and he was still housed at LA County Jail at the time Biggie is killed. And we know from a witness that was in jail with him at the time that he was shackled hand and foot while he was in LA County Jail. So odds of him being involved in Biggie's murder are low at best. From October 22nd of 1996 until sometime in April, he was at LA County Jail and he was treated very badly in LA County Jail. So he wasn't allowed a lot of outside world contact while he was in LA County Jail. And for that reason, it's highly unlikely that he was involved in Biggie's murder. Now, did he have a conversation about...
Suge Knight did not have a hand in Biggie's murder. Period. What Suge Knight did say is, if you find the perpetrator that did that to Tupac, you will find the perpetrator for Biggie Smalls. Okay? We believe the same people that took out Tupac took out Biggie.
About trying to kill Biggie at some point before he got incarcerated? It's highly possible that he did. But a conversation...
And you got to remember there, people, this is the beautiful thing. Tupac is going to get justice right now. Let me tell you why. Pac didn't have the internet back then. If we would have had the internet back then, this shit would have been, nigga, we'd have had this joint out of air in a week. All right? It would have been out of here. They wouldn't have been able to flex on us like the way they was doing. That's nasty, nasty work. It's these black house Negroes like Reggie Wright that manipulated some of these sellout FBAs, house Negroes that was working for Death Row, and he was using the most notorious, corrupt, nastiest police outfit there probably ever was. This outfit was so nasty, the feds demolished their unit, demolished Rampart. How do you get a whole damn division demolished? That's how corrupt they were. They were a gang. It was a police gang. Reggie Wright was working with the damn cartels. He actually got caught after the fact.
Is not necessarily actionable. And how are you going to hear about a conversation? They don't have him on tape saying that. They have a bunch of people who phone in and say Suge Knight is behind Biggie. And it's the same thing that happens with the Tupac.
So you have a bunch of people phone in and say Biggie did it. A bunch of people. And what they're doing is they're shaping the narrative. They're shaping the narrative. That's what they're doing. You know, have a bunch of people call in, you know, testifying, oh yeah, this one said this, and yeah, it was, yeah, I heard this from that one, you know, and the police are taking it all down, not knowing that this is a orchestrated hit. But look, where did it get these people? Where did it get you, Reggie Wright? Where did it get you? No wonder. I was wondering, and what was making me so mad, why was this cop every day talking about Tupac? Every day. He got this, you know, oh my goodness. I ain't even going to go there. You know,
Murder. The phone-ins start immediately. Hey, Orlando Anderson is the shooter of Tupac. And we know Orlando Anderson was not the shooter of Tupac. So this same pattern and behavior happens.
I did not even know that Reggie Wright was at the MGM Grand. I did not even know that Reggie Wright was at the actual fight with Tupac and Suge Knight. Because when questioned, Reggie Wright said he was at Club 662, which he was. Because when Pac got hit, Reggie Wright was at Club 662. So my thing is also, what is Reggie Wright doing at Club 662 when he's supposed to be Suge Knight's personal bodyguard? Not nobody else, him. That was weird. Suge Knight gave you an order to put 5 men on Tupac. Once Suge Knight noticed Tupac only had 1 guy on him. He know there was tension. He seen there was things going on. And I'm talking about Suge. He noticed, hold on, where's Pop? Where's your security, Pop? He just see Frank Alexander with him. He calls up Reggie Wright. Reggie Wright not even where he's supposed to be. Reggie Wright, Club 662. Yo, Reggie, send over why you don't have 5 people. And Reggie Wright said, why you don't have you know what I'm saying, the people, the bodyguard, why you don't have them bodyguard, you know what I'm saying, Pac. Reggie was mad because Pac fired him. But Reggie don't work no more for Pac. Reggie, he never did work for Pac, really, technically, but he works for Suge Knight. And Suge Knight gave the order to send 5 to protect Tupac. He never did it. He never did it. And at first, Reggie Wright said Suge Knight never told him that, never said nothing. But Reggie Wright was saying all of that when he didn't know that the internet was coming out. See, he was saying all that when nobody knew that the internet was coming in a few short years. So he's saying all of this on record. He's saying all this on camcorder. They were camcording back then. He was saying all of this on record. And now it's on YouTube. And remember, he's thinking Suge Knight is locked up. There's no youth. There's no internet. He's done. He's feeling Suge Knight is done. Not only do the internet come, Suge Knight actually gets a platform on the internet. Diddy gets out of here because Diddy was making sure Suge Knight and all of the real ones did not come up. Diddy was helping make it to where you couldn't even talk about this type of stuff. You couldn't say curse words. You couldn't say gay. You couldn't say nothing. They would sting you. Diddy was working on that. And now he's up out of here. A complete 360 straight out of the good book of the Bible, y'all. This is just what a wonderful time to be alive. Can you fathom that we are about to witness what really happened to Pop? As a matter of fact, we really, all jokes aside, I'm telling you right now, don't give me that once it all come out in the media. We're telling you right now what happened to Pop. Keefy D, they are attempting to blame. Keefy D they're attempting to make him the fall guy. Keefy D, and if he has the evidence, I'm pretty sure he does. But Keefy D they have evidence in which they are alleging, Keefy D's attorney, that Keefy D was not even in Las Vegas the night of the Tupac hit. So what are we talking about here? Keefy D was not even in Las Vegas the time of the Tupac hit. Okay? All right? Keefy D went along with the game plan. It was a big game. Remember, Keefy D had Reggie Wright's name in his payola. Keefy D house was raided.
And why you have corrupt cops that we see on the MGM. And it's all these people who didn't want us to know that they were together and secretly, had meetings and what have you and pushing evidence now have all come out and they're all on the same team.
Another thing, you have a new Justice Department now. A completely new Justice Department. And they're about to make it even newer. The new FBI, Kash Patel, was sworn in today. I'm telling you, bro, they have a real problem on their hands. They have a real big problem on their hands right now. And they got Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. Yo, dog, bro, Reggie Wright, Diddy, all of them have a big, big, big problem right now.
And they've been on the same team. And why do these corrupt cops spend their lives trying to defend this? If, why not just move on? No, because they're culpable and they have to defend it because there's no statute of limitations on murder, conspiracy to commit murder, accessory to murder. There is no statute of limitations. So these guys are on the hook for this. And that's why you see them joining ranks and going up against Suge Knight. They have to go up against Suge Knight. So then Russell Poole, once he in 98 finds out that Suge Knight was behind the murder, and he starts to dig in and he realizes Death Row was behind the murder of Tupac, and he realizes, Suge and Death Row must be together, and he doesn't see the separation, that there was a division inside of Death Row. But once he saw that, he couldn't unsee it. But back then, he was pushing the Suge Knight did it narrative. So what did he do? He orders audio recordings of Suge Knight's
Listen to
cell
this, y'all. Listen to
up
this.
at Mule Creek. He orders video surveillance of.
Y'all need to listen to this step by step. This is what happened. This is what is going to come out. Okay? This is what's going to come out.
Of the conversations that are happening, video and audio, inside of the meeting rooms at Mule Creek. He orders video surveillance of the yard so that he can see who Suge Knight is associating with. And all of that audio and all of that video led to nothing. There was no indication that Suge Knight did anything from the audio and video surveillance of him up at Mule Creek. Now, don't you think all these visits Suge's getting, that there would be conversation about the Biggie murder, but there's none. And that means if you don't have Suge Knight on audio tape talking about the murder of Biggie, you could never get a conviction of Suge Knight having been involved. You could never get a conviction of Suge Knight having been involved in Tupac's murder. And if you can't get convictions, it's not worth talking about. You have no evidence. You got a bunch of people that made phone calls and said Suge was behind it. You got a bunch of people speculating that Suge Knight was behind it. Why? You know, Suge was probably a little drunk with power back then. He probably pissed everybody off. And when they all had a chance to pile on Suge, they did. And Suge Knight was now the boogeyman. He was behind everything. He was.
And they piled on Suge Knight. And that's what happened. That's what happened.
The shooter on the grassy knoll, even though he wasn't born yet. And so, you know, there's no reason to talk about Suge Knight as having been involved in either of these murders because it's impossible to prove. And the one thing that these lying FBI people and corrupt cops can't get past is, okay, so these guys tried to topple Death Row Records, and the same people who tried to topple Death Row Records are now colluding with Suge Knight, who they tried to kill Biggie. It just makes no sense. And so now what do we have? We got a guy who's doing a podcast and he says, I don't know anything about the Tupac murder, because he doesn't want to know about the Tupac murder because it spoils his narrative. And his narrative is Suge Knight did it. Suge Knight's behind the murder of Biggie. And you can't collude with the people that tried to kill you.
This is the thing. Reggie Wright, I remember when he first came on YouTube, he was, attempting to shred Pac. And then he was attempting to shred Suge. And he was pushing the narrative that Suge Knight had something to do with Tupac being smoked. And then I noticed he switched a hard pivot onto Keefe D story regarding his cousin or his nephew, you know what I'm saying, taking out Tupac. I noticed he was doing that, but I noticed he was doing that once he noticed, I guess, Suge Knight was like getting settled in, to his prison life. And Reggie was knowing that even before Suge Knight got on the internet, Suge Knight was still making moves inside and his words were still being heard by Reggie Wright, even with him not being on the internet. So Reggie Wright, I noticed, got off of the narrative of Suge Knight did it. And he was saying that, it was all gang violence and all of that. The gang violence between, a beef that happened between, that shit with Tupac and all that, which just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. You normally not going to get beat up, from a club, in Las Vegas and then just go back and just do it like that, man. Like, and it just don't make sense, man.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yo, I did not know he was about to say that, fam.
And for that reason now, a whole monkey wrench has been thrown into his narrative. And so what does he do? He brings on the resident Tupac expert to say so-and-so was behind the kid on Tupac and, try and obscure it, because we got to keep it away from all these corrupt cops. Got to keep it away because we don't want anybody to know how this system really works.
And this is the thing. you're looking in this feed right here, and Reggie Wright Jr. is walking through the crowd. If you look at the man, the tall, like he is like a blonde officer standing on the wall, and he's looking away from the other 3 individuals talking. That's Greg Caden. That's Greg Caden, the guy who the detective, because I guess he became a detective after, or he's a detective right there. But the detective that took over the case, I want to say in 2012, and then spent this whole new narrative that it was just, what Keefe D said. And then they're saying that, this profit deal, he had this. What I'm thinking, Greg Caden, he had 50 cases thrown out because he was found to be lying in his court findings and things like that with a case not related to this, right? And all his cases. So his integrity is definitely in question. Okay, the police force, look at him as a disgraced cop. Okay, and then out of nowhere, he gets a phony confession by Keefe D, and they do up this whole play, him and Keefe D. You know what I'm saying? And Keefe D messed up later on down the line because he went on a podcast and was still talking about it because he seen Greg Caden making money from it. And they were all in cahoots with one another. This is what's going on, y'all. They tried to, they tried to trick us, y'all. They tried to trick us, y'all.
I was in Minnesota when the whole George Floyd thing erupted. And we were there like days after, like when the buildings were on fire, we were on the ground there. And what did they do? They sent a cop in what I call a cooperation to sucker us into going where they knew we could be contained, where we were surrounded on all sides by cops. So I witnessed firsthand how the cops do these operations to smoke people out or to get them right where they want them to be. They had the possibility of being able to shoot us, and probably it would have been an uproar, but they'd have gotten away with it 100%. And that's what they do. There are cops that train for these operations, and they manipulate people to going where they want them to be, and they get them in the crosshairs. And if you are labeled as a cop killer, as was Orlando Anderson, as was Tupac Shakur, and, if Suge Knight ever threatened Kevin Gaines, then he was also known as a cop killer. That gives them license in their own minds. It's not legal, but it's the way policing works. If you are labeled as a cop killer, they feel justified putting you in the crosshairs and taking you down. And they certainly feel that way about Suge Knight, because anybody else that would have hit the gas and run over Terry Carter, and y'all don't want to hear this because I know Terry Carter was a loved person down in Compton, but anybody that would have hit the gas.
Look, y'all, the guy that's walking through with that cap on, that's an LAP detective. These guys are all in cahoots. It's all going to be broken down. These guys are all in cahoots. That's a LAPD Rampart detective. And they are littered in there. I'm going to break it down even further. They are littered in there. Why is the LAPD Rampart Division in Las Vegas? Can somebody help me? Can somebody tell me that in the comment section? Why is the LAPD in uniform in Las Vegas at the Mike Tyson fight, where they have no jurisdiction at all? They are not on payroll by Suge to bodyguard for Suge or Tupac or any of Death Row artists. What reason are you, this guy right here with the damn hat on and the jersey walking through the middle? Why is he there? Why is Greg Caden there? Can somebody explain that to me? How ironic is it that Greg Caden get the case in 2012 and then changes the narrative to some gang violence, y'all? We all not stupid. We all knew that it was done by some cops. We all was saying this way before the internet, man. We were all saying this, man. We believed it. And now that the internet came, there's so many pieces to this puzzle, but we figured it out. We cracked the code. We cracked the code. We figured it out. It was so many moving parts, though. And the way they did it, was sloppy, but it was ballsy. And they almost pulled the damn thing off. Yo, this is crazy, bro.
Even running over and killing somebody would have not had any issues. It would have been justifiable. But because it's Suge Knight, all of a sudden the guns go missing. There were nobody had guns. Nobody was coming after him. Nobody wanted to kill him, even though Bill Russian was right there on that same corner and got shot 7.
Suge Knight never, ever, ever was the victim. Never. He's right now, thank goodness, starting to be realized as he is a victim. He's not only a victim, they tried to take him out 2 times when he was with Pac. Suge confirmed it. And they attempted to take him out in that whole charade with Bone and all of that, and what he's in there right now for. Okay? It's a lot of nastiness going on. Big money, y'all. You got to understand, it's different. They moving different up there. A lot of, you got to understand, it's warfare. It's war game.
17 times. It's a place that's called Murder Burger in the hood. And anybody.
This is warfare, and this is the war center. This is the war room. This is the war zone. We're breaking down the war. We're breaking it down so you can better be aware of your own situations, so you can't be duped. We got to be watching out for this type of stuff. It's nasty.
That was down there would have known that it's called Murder Burger and it's a kill zone. And Suge Knight was justified hitting the gas to get out of there. He was being attacked, and instead of getting a fair trial, getting an attorney, Suge Knight gets charged and convicted, has to take a plea deal because they won't let attorneys in. They won't let him have his civil rights. They won't let him have conversations with the outside. They block him from getting in.
Hold on, I want to play this for you. Hold on. Check this out. Oh, wait. All right, let me just keep that rolling. Let me just keep that.
A new attorney. They block him, and they do it because the felony murder law is about to change. And about 10 days before the felony murder law changes, they force Suge Knight to take a plea deal and take 28 years. And Tupac was not killed by Suge Knight, and you could never get a conviction against Suge Knight for Biggie's murder. And these are the 2 murders that they handed Suge Knight under the table in his current case against Suge Knight for the death of Terry Carter, that Cleabone Sloan should have been charged with since he was the one that attacked Suge Knight and created the first felony. The first felony is the person who should be charged, but Cleabone doesn't get charged. Suge gets charged.
That's Greg Caden. What is Greg Caden doing there, y'all? Can somebody tell me that? If you've been following this whole Tupac thing, man, this is the case of the damn century as far as hip hop is concerned, as far as our culture. You know, I mean, and they didn't get one person to say anything, right? But why? And what I don't like, see, the thing what I don't like is it's us against the dirty cops, y'all. It's not like we, trying to point fingers at these niggas. These niggas, it's us against these dirty ass cops attempting to trick us and then getting online on what podcasts, y'all. They ain't got ballsy enough to talk about the topic. You would think you would try to stay free, far away from that. Oh no, they're gonna get on air and keep spinning this narrative and keep on this narrative. Nah, something is up with that. No, something. Reggie Wright, why the freak you on here every day, damn, arguing about this damn there? Nah, you losing sleep over this. Why, Reggie Wright, are you going to be? You was the first one. This nigga didn't even have the grand jury yet. And matter of fact, Reggie Wright broke the news of the grand jury for Keefe D. We didn't know that Keefe D was getting the grand jury yet. Reggie Wright broke the news. Reggie Wright was like, you know what? He wasn't even going to break the news, but then he broke the news. And then that's when he said he's going to go and testify. He's going to volunteer he said that, and he used volunteer to testify at the grand jury for Keefe D. Why would you do? So I'm thinking in my head at the time, because I was a bit thrown off at the time because I didn't have the key evidence or the key piece to the puzzle to make me understand why he wants to go and volunteer to rat on Keefe D. It's because there was evidence found in Keefe D's possession that had Reggie Wright name with a bunch of names on Keefe D's payola. It was like a list of all of the people that Keefe D was receiving payment from. Okay, all of the people he was receiving payment from on a consistent basis. Okay, and Reggie Wright was a part on that list. Reggie Wright's in trouble, y'all. Now Keefe D is a legend. When he go to court, they're about to go back to court. But they're alleging that Keefe D was not in Las Vegas the night of Tupac shooting. He left a day before. This was all a plot. This was all a fixed plot. And not only that, and then a money grab. And then they were making money on Tupac's name after Tupac's demise, y'all. Are you kidding me? Somebody answer me this. Why is Greg Caden? You see him right there being pointed at? Right there. Why is Greg Caden a LAPD Rampart police officer? He wasn't even a detective at the time. LAPD Rampart police officer in uniform at a Las Vegas event where they have no jurisdiction. Somebody help me make it make sense. Remember, they didn't have internet at the time for us to break this all down, to see all of the mistakes that they made. These are mistakes. These are mistakes that they're making. You're not supposed to get caught out like this. You're getting caught out there. Greg Caden, every rapper that has been hit. Think about it. After Tupac, it's not like one direct thing happened. Like you got in a beef with one person and then, him and his boys just saw you and they just went back and did. Nah, it's always a fixed plan and conspiracy when they go and take out a rapper. And when I say they, or when I'm talking about the op, it's never cut and dry. These people, when I say these people, Greg Kading and Reggie Wright want to make you and me think that it was as simple as this guy got beat up in the casino, and then he got mad, told his uncle, and then they went and wanted to just shoot Pac and Suge, like Swiss cheese the car up on the Las Vegas Strip. Why wouldn't they just think about it? Why wouldn't they just follow Tupac and Suge to a more secluded area? Think about it. Why wouldn't they just do that? Because they didn't have to do that. They were working with the police. It was the police. It was the police. Ain't nobody gonna just. How many shootings? Hold on. How many shootings do you know? Do you know? As many shootings as we have seen, right? And witnessed and heard about, right? How many shootings have you heard on the Las Vegas Strip other than Tupac? That's unheard of. Now, I'm not saying that it didn't happen before. Some people didn't get hit. But I can bet you any amount of money, ain't nobody been getting hit on no Las Vegas Strip. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. This dude got hit on a Las Vegas Strip, y'all. Not one time, like Suge just confirmed, they tried to take them out twice. The narrative was their tire blew out because they tried to jump the rail and all of that and do a U-turn. That was a lie, confirmed by Suge Knight. That was a lie. That was a lie, confirmed by Suge. What are we talking about? This is crazy, nasty work.
Charged. Suge doesn't get a fair shake. He gets $25 million bail. And I actually sat in on a meeting with the bail bondsman. And in order to put up the $25 million, you would have had to have a full DA investigation into your financial affairs. And nobody was going to do that. People came to the table wanting to put up that money, but that money would never be put up, knowing that the DA was going to scrutinize everything you did since you were a teenager, and that they were going to look to charge you with crimes if you're going to put up that money. So no bail could be put up. And if we look at the case, Toy, who's trying to help her husband, I mean, they were basically common law, husband and wife, lived together for 11 years or whatever. She was trying to help her husband, and she gets 3 years in prison for trying to help her husband. And if you look at that tape that gets sold off to TMZ, there were 3 or 4 other people that were involved in getting that tape to TMZ. but Toy was the one that gets charged. Why? Because she's trying to help her husband. And if you look at the two attorneys that get charged, you know, they have nothing but legal problems. Two attorneys get disbarred. They no longer can practice law because they helped Suge Knight. And that's why all this stuff is so dangerous, because Suge understands how the system works. He didn't create the music industry, but he was the best at became the mayor to replace Omar Bradley. They're all wrapped up in this stuff. They're knee deep in packets of cash. And Suge Knight knew how to do that, how the industry worked, and he knew how far up those packets of cash went. Those packets of cash went to, looks like DAs, looks like judges, looks like city officials. And we know from Tom Mesereau that Omar Bradley was constantly handed packets of cash that he pushed back. He said, no, I don't want your money. Build a weight room for my kids at one of the high schools. Build a park, do a community center, do something for my neighborhood. That's what Omar Bradley did. And Tom Mesereau personally told me about how much integrity he saw in Omar Bradley, how much he's.
It's a nasty, nasty web going on, but the truth is coming out right now.
Deep in this stuff, and that's why they're all joining ranks now to say Suge did it. Suge killed Tupac. Suge killed Biggie, because they're afraid of the truth that is bubbling up. And Suge Knight could never be convicted of either of these crimes, so it's ridiculous for y'all to keep talking about it. There's no way Suge Knight would have joined in with the people that tried to kill him the night Tupac and Suge were shot in Las Vegas. There's no way he would have joined with them to kill Biggie. You could never get a conviction, so stop talking about it.
I provided the chief with enough information and evidence that
Hip hop is the streets. Shit, not no game, but listen to this right here. And shout out to L Blizz. Blizz said Keefy D used to smash Reggie wife bank in the day back in the days. At a Mike Tyson fight. I believe that because they are connected. They are connected. And we're gonna break that down how Reggie Wright is connected to Keefe D. Why would Reggie Wright be out of nowhere jumping out his shoes? He's the first one, y'all. We did not know about the grand jury for Keefe D. We didn't know about it yet. He had just got locked up. We didn't know about it, y'all. Something is wrong. That's not right. You're not even a damn cop, nigga. What? You just came out the feds, Reggie Wright. Nigga just came out the feds. Wow.
That would warrant a full probe. And at that meeting, I was ordered not to investigate any further.
Once Rafael Perez broke in there and stole that motherfucking shit, then I seen the investigation was going towards the cops. We want the cops. We don't want you, KPG. Like, you tell us about the cops. I know there's a lot of crooked cops. And I could have turned in them Reggie, them David Mack, them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say a motherfucking thing, but
we had a lot to cover up.
So guys,
What's going on?
Greg Kading is out. His lawyer won't let him do it. So
we've been waiting around for Kading all day, and
yeah, and now
he's not
he's a
coming.
no-show.
Really, I wanted to talk to him because there's so much to ask him.
Yeah.
Puffy was going up the stairs, and he said, I don't care if Tupac died. I don't care if Biggie gotta die.
Are y'all hearing what is going on? I mean, really, can you take a second and really understand what is going on? There was an industry hijacking. I remember Tupac saying when he was standing next to Suge Knight, he was like, y'all don't understand. He was saying Puffy and them bad boy niggas is trying to make hip hop gay, y'all. He said, I'm trying to save it, y'all. Yo, if that wasn't word for word, damn near he said it, man. I probably was 1 or 2 words off, man. That is what Pac said. That's what Pac said. He was standing right next to Suge Knight when he said it. I remember I was attempted to go and look for it again, and I couldn't really find it. And that was maybe a year or two ago, or maybe a year ago. I attempted to look for it, couldn't find it. I'm gonna attempt to look for it again. It's serious, it's big, and it's bigger than rap. Just like our country damn near have been hijacked since John F. Kennedy.
thing, but
we had a lot to cover up.
So guys,
What's going on?
Every time I see Greg Kading, it boils my blood. Right now, every time I see him right there. Why are you in Las Vegas, Greg Kading? And it's not just him, brothers and sisters. It's a whole host of them with that same damn outfit Greg Kading have on from the LAPD Rampart Division, y'all. Ganged up on our homeboy Pac and Suge Knight. These crooked ass cops, black ass House FBA Negro, Reggie Wright, see, waltzing these colonizers in to do the job. Look at this, y'all. Look at this nastiness.
Kading.
And then he's got the nerve to be on Bomb First talking about Tupac. Just like Suge said, nigga, this.
Greg Kading is out. His lawyer won't let him do it. So
we've been waiting around for Kading all day, and
yeah, and now
he's not
he's a
coming.
no-show.
Really, I wanted to talk to him because there's so much to ask him.
Yeah.
Puffy was going up the stairs.
I missed it.
And he said, I don't care if Tupac died.
I missed that. I gotta hear that.
you know what I'm saying? I didn't say a motherfucking thing, but
we had a lot to cover up.
So guys,
What's going on?
Greg Kading is out. His lawyer won't let him do it.
Was ordered not to investigate any further.
Once Rafael Perez broke in there and stole that motherfucking shit, then I seen the investigation was going towards the cops. We want the cops. We don't want you, TPD. Like, you tell us about the cops. I know it's a lot of crooked cops. And I could have turned in them Reggie, David.
Did you hear that? Damn it! I didn't even know he was going to say that. Now I have pre-clips from this. I have studied this. I have pre-clips from this, but I'm not even going to load it up right now. You know, I have it loaded up in another device. But I'm not even going to load it up right now. But did you hear what he just said? Niggas, he said it right there. That's all evidence right there. That's evidence right there. I know they're going to use that in court also, or attempt to put that and make that admissible in court. Are you crazy? Nah, we got to run that back right there, y'all. I got to clip that too, man. That's crazy business right there. We have some groundbreaking news right here. This is groundbreaking news. I did not even know that this was about. I didn't know he was going to say that. I didn't know he was going to say that. Again, I've heard bits and parts from it, but I'm damn near listening just like y'all listening. I did not know he was going to say that. What? Nah, man. Forget all that, man. We got to hear this again, dog. Nah, dog. I'm going to clip that piece and all that at the end. I'm going to do work on that. We're going to go on a whole video on that.
Information and evidence that would warrant a full probe. And at that meeting, I was ordered not to investigate any further.
Once Rafael Perez broke in there and stole that motherfucking shit.
There's a lot of sneakiness going on. He was ordered not to go any further. What sense does this make, y'all? People are dying every day and they're getting caught for nothing. Are you serious? This man is the biggest star in the world at this time.
About it.
I provided the chief with enough information and evidence that would warrant a full probe. And at that meeting, I was ordered not to investigate any further.
That's Russell Poole. And then after that, he was called into a meeting and then mysteriously had a heart attack in the meeting, in the precinct, at the Rampart Division in Las Vegas. I mean, in LA. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That's Russell Poole. Rest in peace, Russell Poole. Rest in peace, Russell Poole. But your word is coming out, and it's your words are so heavy right now, Russell Poole.
Las Vegas. There's no way he would have joined with them to kill Biggie. You could never get a conviction, so stop talking about it.
I provided the chief with enough information and evidence that would warrant a full probe. And at that meeting, I was ordered not to investigate any further.
Once Rafael Perez broke in there and stole that motherfucking shit, then I seen the investigation was going towards the cops. We want the cops. We don't want you, TPD. Like, you tell us about the cops. I know it's a lot of crooked cops. And I could have turned in them Reggie, David Max,
That same group that he's talking about is the same alleged group that hit Pac and Biggie.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all don't remember hearing David Mack on the Biggie? Y'all don't remember that name floating around? David Mack along with the Muslim guy? You just heard Keefe D mention David Mack along with Reggie Wright.
Was ordered not to investigate any further.
Once Rafael Perez broke in there and stole that motherfucking shit, then I seen the investigation was going towards the cops. We want the cops. We don't want you keeping.
Ralphie Perez, that's the cop that Denzel Washington played in Training Day. That's the guy, the cop, the story that they were portraying. The Perez guy. Oh no! Excuse me. It was David Mack. That David Mack was the guy that Denzel Washington was portraying in Training Day. This shit is real, y'all. But the shit that got me mad. These niggas walking around like they gangster and tough, and yeah, I get you knocked off and all that. You know, but you're working with the cops and you are a cop. You suck. Oh man, that shit. Ooh.
Tell us about the cops. I know it's a lot of crooked cops. And I could have turned in them Reggie, them David Mack, them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say them.
You think he's not about to turn in Reggie and them, David Mack and them right now? I mean, I think David Mack and them doing time. I think Mack doing time, but you think he's not going to turn in Reggie right now? You think he not? He just got, there was supposed to be a trial date set for, I want to say February 25th. He got the trial date moved. If I got the dates right, don't quote me, but he got the trial date moved to next year, February, because Keefe D is claiming that he was not in Vegas. And they are claiming that they have evidence that Reggie Wright was complicit. Okay? This is what's going on right now. It's coming out. Reggie Wright's name is officially in the Tupac murder hit court documents right now. Okay? Now, what they're saying is, from what I'm hearing is, Keefe D's attorney, I don't know if he's a public defender, but what he's saying is Keefe D's attorney might not be that A-list attorney that Keefe D needs right now. But they're saying that the attorney did a good thing by actually putting, getting the trial delayed and putting out Reggie Wright's name in the investigation. And they are claiming that they have evidence. And the thing is, this is not like a state case, man. This is a big time federal kit and caboodle, all year trial, dominated trial case. All year If that case would have started this year on the 25th, nigga, that would have dominated the airwaves all year this year. But it's going to dominate the airwaves all year next year. Reggie Wright has this whole year. The year just started. The year just started. Reggie Wright got the whole year to think about this. He is, man. Y'all don't even know, man. If y'all ever had to think about, like, you're about to go to jail and all that, or something, man, that is like, that's just bad, nasty work, That's just not a good feeling. Let me put it like that, man. That's, oh my goodness. And this guy, but it's not no little time. This guy is might possibly, he go in. That's it. That's it for Reggie. That's it. He made a video attempting to act like, like he's nonchalant a little bit about it, but he was like, yeah, we gonna see. Yeah, we are gonna see, Reggie. We are gonna see. Because Keefe gonna fight for his life. Keefe D gonna fight for his life. Keefe said, listen, man, the jig is up, man. Fuck that. They trying to take him down. He like, listen, man. Listen, I got evidence. I wasn't even in Las Vegas, man. Freak all that. I wasn't even in Las Vegas. I wasn't even in Las Vegas.
your motherfucking thing. But
You know, we got a lot to cover up.
So guys,
What's going on?
Greg Kading is out. His lawyer won't let him do it. So
we've been waiting around for Kading all day, and
yeah, and now
he's not
he's a
coming.
no-show.
Really, I wanted to talk to him because there's so much to ask him.
Yeah.
Puffy was going up the stairs, and he said, I don't care if Tupac died, I don't care if Biggie gotta die, and I don't care if Suge gotta go to prison for the rest of his life.
we got a confession letter on how everything went down and who's responsible.
Now, getting back to Russell, Russell was following in the footsteps of his dad, and he was able to work through the LAPD and have all the things that had to be done within the LAPD. He certainly knew the streets very well, and circumstances in his case were far more tragic because he was killed in the line of duty.
If that's the case, did Tupac life mean anything? Because they never saw that case. Sometimes if you saw the first case, you might have saw the second case. But that never happened, correct?
Yep.
But he did testify reluctantly. The Death Row Records security chief Reggie Wright Jr. once told him, quote, "We're going to get those mothers who downed Pac."
Ice and I, we've heard consistently, Suge, that you're the person behind the hit on Biggie.
Well, they looked at y'all and told y'all to ass live.
A reportedly missing photograph and former police chief Bernard Park's daughter came up during testimony today in the wrongful death lawsuit filed against the city by murdered rap star Biggie Smalls' mother.
That, to me, was probably another motive for Chief Parks to want to squash a lot of the information. There was an effort to keep a lot of the information away from the public.
This declaration from a jailhouse informant named Kenny Boagni links crooked LAPD officers David Mack and Rafael Perez to the murder of rap star Biggie Smalls.
Okay. Right? You see, Suge was willing to say, I didn't know those two cops, but maybe Reggie knew them.
Never met those dudes. They never worked for me. They knew Reggie Wright. They didn't know me.
He always will tell you, those are Reggie people.
Those are Reggie Wright's people. Those are Reggie Wright's people. Reggie Wright name has been popping up. They've been saying his name, but remember, these people largely have been in control of the media. Your Diddy's and his whole gang, and him being a part of, the construct that's controlling the music and entertainment industries. Okay, if you and now you have a Donald Trump in office who is vehemently against the suppression of the people who's fighting for their rights and things of that nature, fighting against the fake news and their agendas and suppressing the real messages that need to get out to the people.
And Reggie was fast to say, I didn't know them either.
I was just in
motive for Chief Parks to want to squash a lot of the information. There was an
I swear. And now that lady just said that, and Reggie was quick to say he didn't know them neither. I remember recently Reggie Wright quoting he didn't know somebody. I don't remember who he was saying he didn't know, but I know he was kept denying I didn't know this person and that person. Two people I remember him saying. But before that, a few years back, I remember Reggie Wright saying that he didn't know David Mack, because I remember his Reggie Wright name coming up in the whole Biggie ordeal. This is crazy, y'all.
The effort to keep a lot of the information away from the public.
This declaration from a jailhouse informant named Kenny Boagni links crooked LAPD officers David Mack and Rafael Perez to the murder of rap star Biggie Smalls.
Okay. Right? You see, Suge was willing to say, I didn't know those two cops, but maybe Reggie knew them.
Never met those dudes. They never worked for me. They knew Reggie Wright. They didn't know me.
He always will tell you, those are Reggie people.
And Reggie was fast to say, I didn't know them either.
I was just interested in why he would point the finger at Suge so quick. He wouldn't say it to you, but he definitely pointed it. We call that dry snitching.
That Perez told how he worked security for Death Row Records the night Biggie Smalls was assassinated, and how—
There you go. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? And I didn't hear this part, y'all. I'm just going off of my research from years of researching this, man. This is crazy, y'all.
He always attack. Those are Reggie people.
And Reggie was fast to say, I didn't know them either.
I was just interested in why he would point the finger at Suge so quick. He wouldn't say it to you, but he definitely pointed it. We call that dry snitching.
That Perez told how he worked security for Death Row Records the night Biggie Smalls was assassinated, and how he and Mac used cell phones to set up the hit. Boagny now says he was instructed by an LAPD detective to share his story with no one else investigating Biggie's murder. Judge Florence Marie Cooper says LAPD may be involved in what she calls deliberate and intentional concealment of information. Jailhouse informant Kenny Boagny ties former LAPD officers David Mack and Rafael Perez to the murder of rap star Biggie Smalls. LAPD has withheld reams of other evidence as well, including at least 2 other jailhouse statements implicating dirty cops Mack and Perez in Biggie's murder. 1,000 pages of information were withheld describing Mack and Perez's involvement in Biggie's murder. 3 different jailhouse informants who offered to wear a wire were all turned down by LAPD. A wire, say informants, that could have caught jailed officers.
I mean, sloppy work. I mean, just sloppy work, y'all. Turning, really? I mean, really? Did you hear what he just said?
In what she calls deliberate and intentional concealment of information. Jailhouse informant Kenny Boagny ties former LAPD officers David Mack and Rafael Perez to the murder of rap star Biggie Smalls. LAPD has withheld reams of other evidence as well, including at least 2 other jailhouse statements implicating dirty cops Mack and Perez in Biggie's murder. 1,000 pages of information were withheld describing Mack and Perez's involvement in Biggie's murder. 3 different jailhouse informants who offered to wear a wire were all turned down by LAPD. A wire, say informants, that could have caught jailed officer Perez boasting about his involvement with Death Row Records and the Biggie Smalls murder. Judge Florence Marie Cooper lists all the new information she says links former crooked LAPD officers David Mack and Rafael Perez to the murder of Biggie Smalls. The sheer volume of the information, says the judge, belies any LAPD argument that it comes from just another jailhouse informant.
Murder is pretty simple. The first person you go after is the spouse.
Perez and them was all involved. They were trying to kill me too, but see, because Perez and Reggie was good friends, and Perez and Sharita and Reggie is great friends, and so all those 3 together was trying to plot. Those guys, if you go back and watch the film, they was already stalking Pac, watching him. So that just tipped the iceberg when something happened. But there was a plan already to do something to him. Orlando wasn't even the shooter, you know. He was actually a good kid too, you know. I'm quite sure they saw the first one, they saw the second one, because it's the same circle of people. You got a lot to cover up, y'all.
I'm telling you right there. Telling you
You got a lot to cover up.
Murder is pretty simple.
Suge just said, you solve the first one, you're going to solve the second one. Flat out, man. Flat out, man. That's crazy, man. They got this guy doing 27 years. That's crazy. Blitz said, there's pictures of Mack and Perez at the Patterson night Biggie got killed. Correct. That's what I'm saying. These guys have been implicated by the streets that and the thing is, our information in the hood is so apt, intelligent, swift. It's amazing. It's just like the way information get around in the jails. You think the information don't get around? It gets around like blazingly fast. This is without the internet. This is being in one compound. You in a whole nother compound, and it's called kites. You get kites to them, and the kites are messages. But it was ran like that in our hood too, and the information got around fast. And yes, Mac and Perez was implicated, according to the streets, in taking out or having a hand in taking out the notorious B.I.G. These people were on some madman shit. Like, again, that training day shit was supposed to be Mac, David Mack. That training day was a reconstruction of how they were doing it around that time. And David Mack was a crooked ass damn cop, bro, that was using the hood and the gangs to formulate his nasty, sadistic plots. And they wanted to go for a big empire, and they were going for the big bag, take out Suge, take out Pop, take the whole label, because Reggie was colluding with Sharita Knight. Sharita Knight, which is Suge Knight's former girlfriend, former wife, Sharita Knight. I think she attempted to take the label at the time. That's crazy.
Well, the first person you go after is the spouse.
All the artists at Death Row was willing to come with me.
Good friends, and Perez and Sharita and Reg is great friends, and so all those three together was trying to plot. Those guys, if you go back and watch the film, they was already stalking Pac, watching him. So that just tipped the iceberg when something happened. But there was a plan already to do something to him. Orlando wasn't even the shooter, you know. He was actually a good kid too, you know. I'm quite sure they saw the first one, they saw the second one. It's the same circle of people.
You got a lot to cover up, y'all.
Freudian slip.
You got a lot to cover up.
Murder is pretty simple. The first person you go after is the spouse.
All the artists at Death Row was willing to come with me.
David Mack worked for you, right?
No, ma'am.
Never?
You heard him, right? He said all murders are simple, right? The first person you go after is the spouse. They are saying that Sharita Knight attempted to take out Suge Knight. She plotted with this guy, Reggie Wright Jr. They were sleeping with one another, and they plotted with these other crooked cops, David Mack, Perez, to take over Death Row Records, which had the grip on the entire industry, and they were taking over and going into film. According to Pac and according to Suge, Pac was going into film. They was wanting to take over film. This is all Pac's work. You see a lot of us jumping into film right now. Pac and them started that. Pac and Suge, y'all.
Never met him, never heard of him, didn't know who he was until the accusations that he possibly did work for me. And that's been investigated by LAPD and all of that.
Why would I want a paper trail when I never brought him around nowhere? So if I'm gonna hide him in secret, you think I'm gonna let somebody catch a paper trail? They were paid cash by Snoop.
Perez and them was all involved.
You heard that? You heard that? So they was paid cash by Snoop. They was paid cash by Snoop.
Simple. The first person you go after is the spouse.
Listen, I'm not just throwing Snoop name out there. I don't want you to think that I'm just trying to play nobody and implicate people in anything like that. I'm just following the trail. I'm following the breadcrumb trail. Snoop, why were you not in Vegas with Death Row when you went with the Death Row camp every time there was a fight in Las Vegas? If you were being investigated, you are not consistent. That was not being consistent. You were not sick or anything. I remember you said your alibi was you was with Warren G and you was playing a game, a video game, when you heard that Tupac got shot. And then another time you said you was in the studio, because you didn't say you was in the studio with Warren G. You said you was at Warren G house. I remember this. This is not something that this is not something that I seen recently, like within the last 2 years. This is something that I seen years ago. This is not something that I seen. This is something that I seen had to be more than 5 years ago that I seen. Had to be. It was more than 5 years ago for sure that I seen it. Probably damn near close to 10 years, damn near. I remember seeing it. Snoop, you changed your story up too many times for me. That don't make no sense. And that's supposed to be your homie? Nah, dog. Nah, that ain't right. Nah. And then you get on the stage, Snoop, accepting an award for Pac when Pac was being inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You want to say it was a shame Tupac and Biggie had to be, Tupac, had to be sacrificed for the game to move forward. That shit didn't even make sense. And then you had the 6-point stars on you and all that, all over you that day. That was like nasty, nasty work, Snoop. You wearing French tip nails, the long joints, like where girls get the long fake nails. Like you thought that was cute, and then 50 had to get on you about that. And you talking about niggas don't know about niggas don't know about pimping. This is pimp. Nah, they ain't pimping. Pimping ain't wearing real pimps, nigga. Ain't no real pimp, nigga, wearing no damn fake nail, nigga. Fake nails, nigga. That's whack. Trash. Cut from a different cloth was hood. Cut from a different cloth said, she said, I ain't never felt Snoop. I used to be riding, I used to be riding with Snoop, as far as, because I thought he was, ganging and, he was repping. I'm thinking, damn, he repping like, damn, putting it, and he out there with Tupac, that's what I'm thinking, that's what I, just like I was damn near riding with Diddy, because of Biggie. I'm thinking, Biggie passed and all that, shit. He was, I'm a ride with Biggie and all, with Diddy and all that. Nah, I'm like, nah. Then you start to see the way they moving a little bit. You putting 2 and 2 together. And if you're sharp, you're gonna put this together. You don't have to be with somebody or around somebody to put things together.
Artist at Death Row was willing to come with me.
David Mack worked for you, right?
No, ma'am.
Never?
Never met him. Never heard of him. Didn't know who he was until the accusations that he possibly did work for me. And that's been investigated by LAPD and all of that.
Why would I want a paper trail when I never brought him around nowhere? So if I'm going to hide him in secret, you think I'm a...
Great friends, and so all those three together was trying to plot. Those guys, if you go back and watch the film, they was already stalking Pac, watching him. So that just tipped the iceberg when something happened. But there was a plan already to do something to him. Orlando wasn't even the shooter, He was actually a good kid too, I'm quite sure if they saw the first one, they would saw the second one, because the same circle of people.
You got a lot to cover up, y'all.
Freudian slip.
You got a lot to cover up.
Murder is pretty simple. The first person you go after is the spouse.
All the artists at Death Row was willing to come with me.
David Mack worked for you, right?
No, ma'am.
Never?
Never met him. Never heard of him. Didn't know who he was until the accusations that he possibly did work for me. And that's been investigated by LAPD and all of that.
Why would I want a paper trail when I never brought him around nowhere? So if I'm gonna hide him in secret, you think I'm gonna let somebody catch a paper trail? They were paid cash by Snoop.
Perez and them was all involved. They were trying to kill me too, because Perez and Reggie was good friends, and Perez and Sharita and Reggie is great friends, and so all those three together was trying to plot.
How about Rafael Perez?
Never heard of him until all the incidents happened.
Those guys, if you go back and watch the film, they was already stalking Pac, watching him. So that just tipped the iceberg when something happened.
Did you hear Reggie? Never heard of him. Oh yeah, Reggie? Oh yeah? Is that a fact, Reggie? Is that a fact? Say that again.
They were trying to kill me too, because Perez and Reggie was good friends, and Perez and Sharita and Reggie is great friends, and so all those three together was trying to plot.
How about Rafael Perez?
Never heard of him until all the.
He said, never heard of him. You heard that, right? And remember, when he was being questioned, this was before the internet. This is the time before the internet. Ooh, ooh. You dirty cop, you. You dirty, dirty cop, you. Ooh. Put a weapon in the chat for me real quick. If you think Reggie Wright is about to get the axe, put a weapon in the chat, put some chains in the chat, throw something in the chat for me. I'd appreciate that.
The incidents happened.
Those guys, if you go back and watch the film, they was already stalking Pac, watching him. So that just tipped the iceberg when something happened. But there was a plan already to do something to him.
So why does everyone keep telling me that David Mack was working for you?
Yeah. I never heard that.
You've never heard that?
That he worked for me.
You've never heard that?
Wait a minute. Let me clear that
Come
up.
on.
I'm saying by anyone that's credible that will work around there or anything. Like I said, that was all investigated by LAPD. I turned over my payroll, everything.
You always will tell you, those are Reggie people.
Orlando wasn't even the shooter, you know? He was actually a good kid, too, you know? I'm quite sure if they saw the first one, they would saw the second one, because it's the same circle of people.
Yo. Hey, yo, cut from a different cloth. That was a good one right there. Yo, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you. That was a great one. I like that. That was a great one. That's great.
You've never heard that?
That he worked for me.
You've never heard that?
Wait a minute. Let me clear that
Come
up.
on.
I'm saying by anyone that's credible that will work around there or anything. Like I said.
Do you hear her pressing him? She like, come on. She like, come on. And remember, y'all, this is before the internet. She is on him, but it's coming back out. Pac, we got the internet now, Pac. We got the internet. And I remember Pac knew the internet was coming in the computer chips because he said it in the song.
And Reggie was good friends, and Perez and Sharita and Reggie is great friends, and so all those three together was trying to plot.
How about Rafael Perez?
Never heard of him until all the incidents happened.
Those guys, if you go back and watch the film, they was already stalking Pac, watching him. So that just tipped the iceberg when something happened. But there was a plan already to do something to him.
So why does everyone keep telling me that David Mack was working for you?
Yeah. I never heard that.
You've never heard that?
That he worked for me.
You've never heard that?
Wait a minute. Let me clear that
Come
up.
on.
I'm saying by anyone that's credible, that will work around there or anything. Like I said, that was all investigated by LAPD. I turned over my payroll, everything.
You always attack. Those are Reggie people.
With your father, Reggie Wright Sr., being a big supervisor, you have Reggie Wright Sr. at the fight with you also. This is nasty, nasty business. Nasty work. Nasty work.
Those guys, if you go back and watch the film, they was already stalking Pop.
Got my boy Suge up in there 30 years, and he's still holding it down. This guy, Diddy up in there imploding, y'all. Diddy implode. See, this is what, it shows you the real right there. This guy got 30 years, 27 years. Hopefully Suge gonna be home. Hopefully he come home this year. God willing. But Diddy is implode. I mean, do you see this?
Watching it. So that just tipped the iceberg when something happened. But there was a plan already to do something to it.
So why does everyone keep telling me that David Mack was working for you?
Yeah. I never heard that.
You've never heard?
See, while Reggie Wright got it bad, this is why he got it bad. Because you see how he's being questioned? He's being questioned by an official reporter, right? But she's not a criminal investigator. Now that Reggie Wright has been put into the criminal investigation of Tupac Shakur officially, that's a problem. Because if he's stumbling and bumbling right there with that, you can't go back and change your words, Reggie. You can go down off of circumstantial evidence, from circumstantial evidence, Reggie. This is bad, Reggie. This is bad. No wonder you was every day on Bomb First attempting to talk about this case, trying to get this case buried in the media to where we won't even think about it, to where the YouTubers won't be talking about it like that. No wonder, Reggie.
Heard that?
That he worked for me.
You've never heard that?
Wait a minute.
She said you've
Let me clear
never
that up.
heard
I'm
that.
saying,
Like, come on.
by anyone that's credible, that will work around there or anything. Like I said, that was all investigated by LAPD. I turned over my payroll, everything.
Oh, yeah?
You always attack. Those are Reggie people.
Orlando wasn't even the shooter, you know? He was actually a good kid, too.
Reggie Wright is right there in the middle being pointed at. He's surrounded by other LAPD detectives that's not in uniform. And then some of them are in uniform. You can see two in uniform to your far right, right? Two in uniform. Reggie, you can see him where he's at. He's in the middle, right? I don't know who these two guys are with these blue suits on.
You know? I'm quite sure they saw the first one, they saw the second one, because it's the same circle of people.
Or do you see those security guards right there, or not security, those police right there on your right? That's LAPD in Las Vegas with no jurisdiction. Seriously?
You got a lot to cover up, y'all.
Freudian slip.
You got a lot to cover up.
Unbelievable nasty work. Unbelievable nasty work, y'all. Nasty, nasty work, y'all. Unbelievable. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section about that, about this segment. Let me know what you think. This is so interesting because in my heart, I've always felt like, damn, Pac, you ain't get justice. We all pulling for you as a nation. Him and all of the people that's up there, we pull for them. And we talking about the real riders. We pull for them. Damn. And it's like, we feel like you lose. We all felt like we got a loss right there. The real ones. Now we feel like we back. We feel like we back now. We are back now. And we figured it out now. We're not letting you come back now. We're not letting you take power back now. And now we have a commander-in-chief up there that's going to make sure we send bow and arrows to the fake news construct now. That's all going to be decapitated. All of it. You can bet your bottom dollar Trump is going to dismantle it. He's dismantling it now. These people are on the run. These people are on the run. That episode from Reggie Wright on Bomb First, when he replied to finding out that he was implicated officially in the Tupac hit, the episode right after that is too funny. He is too funny. He's attempting to go on and then attempt to talk. He talked about that issue and then he attempted to go on and talk about other things going on in the industry, but you could tell he's bothered. He's bothered. And he should be. You're not no mob boss. You're not no mob boss. You're not a real leader, Reggie. You're a wannabe cop. But you couldn't even do that right. Then you always wanted to be like us, but then you wanted to be like us. Yo, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. I'm going to jump on out here. I love you all. And make sure y'all stay in tune. I am going to be on tomorrow morning. I love y'all except for the ones I don't. Peace.